to ask for a sign. The signs were coming. He was like, it was vinyl. I was like, oh my God, this is my husband. Yes. So I knew this was going to be my husband. Hey guys, welcome to my channel where we talk about living life full of joy, confidence, and faith, as well as everything in between. I'm your girl, Daniela. Today, we are going to talk about how some people, some men are in your life only for a reason and only for a season, definitely not for a lifetime. That person is not meant to be your husband, but we take a moment, we take a season, and we try to hold on to it. And I believe that as soon as we're able to recognize when someone's only in our life for a reason, when somebody's only in our life for a period of time, then we can let them go sooner and we can avoid a lot of the emotional baggage that comes with heartbreak. I feel like as women, we're always trying to figure out who our husband is. Is it this person? Oh, it must be him. Or maybe it's him. It's gotta be him because we're so connected. Oh, he sees me. He loves me. He knows about my quirks. Oh my God, I feel like I've known him forever. We're soulmates. It has to be him. And I feel like as soon as we let go of all this, is it him? Is it not him? Could it be him? And then just be in the moment, be in our single moment, or be in the moment with whom we're dating, and just let things be, then we can just avoid a lot of the heartache. Let it go, girls, and stop guessing who it is and just wait patiently until he comes along or until you realize and it is revealed to you who your husband actually is. Because let me tell you, I was notorious for, is this gonna be my husband? It must be him. It's got to be him. I was notorious for that before I got married. So I think I told you guys, I think I shared a few videos back on, someone that I thought was gonna be my husband, and then Laura was like, nope, not him. When it comes to, like I said, realizing that somebody's in your life only for a reason or only for a small period of time, whether it is to meet a need, whether it is, and whatever that need may be, it might be an emotional need, it might be a physical need, it might be whatever it is that God is trying to provide for you in your life, then allow them to meet it and allow them to move on, and please let them go. And sometimes you don't realize it until that season has come to an end. And once that season comes to an end, then you have like that aha moment, like, okay, maybe that person wasn't meant to be my husband, but you have to acknowledge it and you have to accept it. Now, you guys know that I always have a story to tell. I always have a story to share. So I was attending a wedding of a really, really, really close childhood friend of mine. And at the wedding, she had this fine groomsman, okay? He was fine. Yes, okay? He was fine. So she had this fine groomsman, and I remember like, dang, thinking, who is that? I approached the bride. I approached the bride's sister. I approached whoever I needed to approach and was like, listen, I need to know him and I need you to give him my phone number. And they were like, each of them, and I approached them at separate times, and they were both like, who? Charles? Like I was talking about their like 16-year-old brother or something. Like, yeah, Charles, the fine one, that one. That's who I'm talking about, Charles. This was during the month of April. So fast forward, I graduated law school, and I didn't hear from him all through the month of April. Now we're in May, and I graduated, I was about to graduate law school. And the night before my graduation, my family and my friends threw me a surprise graduation party. So that night, I received a phone call from Charles. And as soon as he said hello, I don't know what it was, I just knew it was him. And so he told me that, his cousin gave him my number and that it was now or never because I was graduating the following morning And the next day I would be studying for the bar exam. Now, anyone who's taken a really big exam like the bar exam, you know it requires isolation. It requires some commitment, some dedication, and it is like a full-time job. Wasn't working. All I did was study for the bar. My girlfriends barely saw me. My parents, because I live with them, that's why they saw me. Otherwise, people hardly heard from me. However, Charles, I spoke to on the phone every single day, consistently. During this time, with no other distraction, he became like my best friend. He became my everything because we became so close in that short amount of time. Now, when I say short amount of time, okay, I graduated in May and I took the bar in August, June, July, August. So the entire summer, all of May, all of June, all of July, and I think the bar was it in the end of July or beginning of August? Something like that. So, like I said, he became like everything. We talked. He was like an answered prayer. Now, stick a pin in it. Prior to Charles calling me and me even seeing him, I remember I was very self-conscious a lot when I was with men. I would pick at myself physically. I would everything was about my appearance. I looked in the mirror a lot. And I think I mentioned it. I talked about it in my previous video, Judging by Appearance. So I remember I prayed and I asked God, to show me, and he told me that man looks at the outward, I look at the heart. So I asked God, show me how to look at man the way you see men. Show me how to walk in agape love. That was my prayer. When I tell you that soon after that prayer, that's when I found myself in this season. This man was a Christian man. He prayed over everything, whatever the situation may be. If I mentioned it, if I had an issue, no matter what, he would just pray about it. Like, he became like my watchman. I could talk to him fully. I could just tell him any and everything about me, about what was going on in my life. I told him about my past. When you're in a long distance relationship, all you're doing is talking. You're not going out on dates. You are just on the phone hours on end. I was on the phone. It was like he was shift number 2. I would wake up in the morning. I would study for the bar all day. And then shift number 2, I'm on the phone with him. So other than my parents, it was him and it was the 2 people that I studied for the bar with. Anyway, so I remember he told me that he was in love with some girl from back in the days. And, she didn't feel the same about him. Like he had been in love with her. So I was like, okay, warning flag was up. But then I felt like the Lord was like, how you gonna act like that? Remember homeboy that you were in love with for God knows how many years, and you thought he was gonna be your husband until I just told you the other day that he's not? How you gonna act like that? So then I'm like, okay, true. So I was reminded, you know what? God is not a respecter of person. So if he could do it for me, if he could deliver me from these, emotions that I had for somebody and allow me to see clearly that this person's not the one for me, then surely he can do the same for Charles. I remember I gave Charles my testimony. I shared it, moving on. So we're talking, days are going by. And every time I would talk to him, I told you I would talk to him second shift in the evening. And then one time I was like, dude only calls me at nighttime. Like, what is that? Clearly he's just not that interested in me. Literally, soon as that thought came into my head, he called me the next morning. No lie. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, you really got a sense of humor. And then I felt like in that moment, the Lord was saying, agape love is patient. Like, boo, just chill, relax. But soon as that thought surfaced in my mind, boom, he called me the next morning. He would call me saying, I just wanted to sneak in a call here. I just wanted to sneak in a call there just to show you that I'm thinking about you. Because for me, I'm like, okay, a nighttime call is nothing. But when you call me in the morning, wish me a good day, show me that you're thinking about me first thing in the morning, that says something. That's special. That says more than the words that are coming out of your mouth sometimes. It says a whole lot. So like I said, we were tight. Like I Yo, like I liked homeboy a whole lot, because even though I was done with asking God for a sign, is this gonna be my husband, I felt like I didn't need to ask God for a sign. Like he was just showing me all these things. He was just showing me that this guy is the one. And so his birthday was coming up, and he was really into music. He was into producing, he was into singing, he was a singer, so he was really into music. And during a conversation early on, I remember telling him that one of my favorite childhood songs is Boogie Shoes from Casey and the Sunshine Band. And I love that song. Still to this day, I love that song. For his birthday, I went out and I got that on vinyl. Like I drove 30 miles out to find a record store, got it on vinyl. And what I also did is, you know, during that time, since I was in school, I would have a mini recorder to record my professors. So I got my mini recorder and I gave him the sweetest message on this mini recorder. And I just thought this would be the cutest thing. He would have to figure out a way to listen to the message. So I mailed it off to him. And he told me that, okay, so when the post office, when the mailman went to go deliver it, he wasn't home. So you know they give you that slip that says that you have something, you have to pick it up or they'll return. So he told me when he got it, he's like, we're talking on the phone, he's like, I literally said to God, if something is happening between she and I, like if something is going on here, then let it be vinyl. I didn't need to ask for a sign. The signs were coming. He was like, it was vinyl. And I was like, oh, this is my husband. Yes. So I knew this was going to be my husband. So then when he finally got a chance, like maybe a week later, to listen to the message that I left him, yo, he was just in awe of the words that I said and the words that he said to me in return. Oh my goodness. So this man told me he had always envisioned his wedding, but he could never see his bride. He could never see her face. It was never revealed to him. And when he heard my birthday wishes to him, he was like, I saw you. I saw you standing there. And I was like, oh my God, like, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, no way. I've envisioned you and I standing, you know, in my dress, you and your, you know, your groomsmen. I saw it all. When I tell you, I got to know him in such a way that I never got to know any other man. And he knew me in such a way that no one at that time had ever gotten a chance to know me deeply, unconditionally. So I was like floored. And then, so after that, you know, some time would go by and I'm thinking, okay, I got him something cute. I got him something nice. This dude ain't never give me jack. I'm like, well, where the flowers just because? Where's the this? Where's the that? And I remember the Lord was like, girl, agape love does not give to receive. Agape love is not tit for tat. It keeps no record. I was like, okay, fine, moving on. We continued our relationship. Things continued to develop. We continued to get closer. My feelings for him just grew deeper. He was telling me how I was like his best friend and he was like mine. And we were just really, really thinking that we were going to be each other's, you know, life partners. And so time got closer and it was time for me to take the bar. So I took the bar exam, and after the bar exam, I came home the next day, flew out to LA with my girlfriends for a vacation. And we would probably like just talk a little here and there, you know, because I'm on vacation with my girls. And then when I came back, we would talk on the phone, but it wasn't as frequent anymore. So mind you, this is like now a week after my bar exam. I asked him, like, what's going on? And he told me that he was still in love with that girl that he told me about when we first started talking. And I was like, didn't this come and bite me in the ass, huh? And I was livid, guys. I was hot. I was hurt. I was angry. And then I let him have it. I was like, are you kidding me? You will never, she will never, you would never find somebody like me. Like, I know I said, like, he prayed for me and he was there for me, but I was there for him. I was his rock just as well as he was for me. Like, when his employer undervalued him, I was there. When he felt like, you know, he was having issues in his home with his family, his parents, I was there. I prayed. I was his rock. I was his soundboard. You know, I was, yo. So for you to now tell me that you're in love with this girl still? And after I let him have it, I remember immediately after, and I can't, like, I don't know about you, but Lord, I can't stand when the Lord convict me when when I'm not ready for the conviction or in the midst of me acting the fool. I'm like, can I finish? Can I finish, Lord? Can I finish cutting up here before you know, correct me? So then the Lord took me to the scripture, and I have to read it. He said, he revealed that agape love does not delight in evil. It is not easily angered. Agape love always preserves and it never fails. It is not easily angered. And I remember thinking about that. And then he showed me that Charles was only in my life for a reason. And that was to get me through my season of studying for the bar, so I didn't have to be lonely. So I had somebody who would pray for me, who had my back. Literally, the day before I graduated law school, 2 days before I started studying for the bar, and a week after I took the bar exam. That was the span of our relationship. After that last conversation, I had never heard from him again. Never heard from him again. When I was able to recognize that, when I accepted it for what it was so easy for me to release it. As deeply as I felt for him, I didn't carry that. I didn't carry it. I had no emotional baggage that came with it. It was, okay, God, I asked you to show me agape love, and this is what you did. You allowed me to walk in agape love. That's what he was there for. And I, to this day, will always remember it, because as you can see, I'm telling you guys now, and I will appreciate it. And let me tell you, when you ask God, show me this or show me that, he will do just that. And that's exactly what he did for me. And that's not the only time he did it. He did it again when I was seeing somebody named Jason. And funny enough, just like the other story, our relationship ended shortly after the need ended. This is just two examples of how I myself looked at these guys and were like, oh, sure enough, they must be the one, when they weren't. And rightfully so. Like, these were some solid relationships. These were some solid men, and these were men that I had, you know, feelings for. But when I realized that that was not their purpose in my life, and when I accepted it as so, I was able to just keep it moving without any, you know, emotional trauma or emotional baggage. I was able to keep it moving without holding on to the hurt and to what if and only if and it should have been and it could have been. No, I realized it ain't him. It wasn't him and it wasn't the other one. Boom. And you just got to make room for who it actually is, who God has for you, that man who was supposed to do life with you. We all know that sometimes relationships are seasonal. You got to take what we can learn from it, learn it, and keep it moving. So I hope my story was able to help you recognize for yourself if you're in a relationship that looks like it's not going anywhere or that recently ended and you're like, wow, I thought he was going to be the one. Like, what's up with that? I want you to recognize that some people, it's just for a season. It's just for a reason. And that's not just for romantic relationships. That's for friendships too. That's for, you know, that's just for relationships and life in general. Recognize it for what it is and then act accordingly. Guys, Forever after is a long, long time. Don't rush into it. That man is coming. He is coming. He's coming. All right, ladies, I hope you got something out of my stories to recognize, you know, sometimes some men are just truly seasonal. They're in our lives for a reason. They're not meant to be our life partners. And the sooner we recognize that, the sooner we're able to just let it go and open up the door and make room for who God has for us, who God has for you. All right, good luck. And trust me, he's coming. He is coming.
Give up. Come and join. So,
I got a muff cake.
What's that?
Very nice.
It's like a muffin.
Okay, cool.
Wait, it has like a peel?
Hey! Bye. You too. Let me finish.
So, we are gonna be talking about
This muff cake is good.
Hey.
trains.
Hey, guys. This boy is obsessed with trains and volcanoes.
Which is me, Josiah.
Is obsessed with trains and volcanoes.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, and once we climb a volcano called Vesuvius.
All right, bye, boy.
Okay, bye, mommy. Love you.
Love you too.